Hey, what's up guys, it's your boy Jonesium, and today we're going to be installing the AK Trigger by ALG, enhanced with lightning bow on my Kalashnikov USA KP9 9mm pistol. My audio messed up on the original video, so I have to do this voiceover, which probably is a lot clearer. But anyway, so start out with the basic disassembly, which is lifting up the dust cover on the KP9. The dust cover has a hinge. You just flip it up and voila. So next you just take off the recoil spring. My body gets in the way a little bit of the video because just of the nature of what we're doing here. Kind of got to get your body in the way a little bit and limited camera angles. So once we do that, we got to remove the safety, and the safety you just flip it up all the way up and then you just pull it out and just remove it like so. Then you take the whole bolt out, bolt carrier and all that. It's one piece. It's not like AK-47, you got the bolt that's separate from the bolt carrier. That's all one piece. And the KP9 for the 9mm. Next we have to remove the retainer plate, which the pin retainer plate, which holds the pins through the rifle or pistol in this case. But actually, before we do that, we have to lift up the wire and wrap it around the hammer. So that's the hammer spring wire, whatever you want to call it. You just lift them up from where they're sitting, and then just wrap them around the back of the hammer. I wear gloves because if you've ever been hit by that wire, it's it hurts. So if you're wearing gloves, good thing. So we got the retainer plate out like I was saying before, and now we can easily push the pins out with the appropriate size pin punch. So you don't have to do any punching. You just the pins are really loose, minus the retainer plate or whatever you have in there. But on the KP9, there's a retainer plate. Alright, so next we remove the hammer. Basically, all you got to do is just twist it to the side, twist the hammer a little bit, lift it up out of there. So you got the new ALG hammer on the right there. They look similar, but vastly different at the same time. So you cannot use the stock hammer with the ALG disconnector and trigger assembly, so don't do it. You take the spring off of the original hammer and then slap it on the new one. You're probably gonna hit yourself with the wire, especially if this is their first time doing it, but this ain't the first time I'm doing this, and I'm pretty sure I hit myself with the wire a few times, but that's why I wear gloves. Otherwise I would end up with lots of marks, probably bleeding, who knows, but that's why I wear gloves when I work on my firearms. Alright, so next we're gonna remove the pin that's holding in the trigger assembly and the disconnector. So the pin comes out really easy, both pins do, and you simply just lift it up out of there, and you'll see that it's actually kind of like stuck together, the disconnector and the trigger, but they're not, they come apart. So you have three separate parts. You got the disconnector, the spring, and the trigger. And so we got the ALG trigger on the right that I just pulled up, and the trigger that's in the KP9 is actually the Tapco, I think it's called. So it's not like a standard AK trigger. It's a Tapco G2, I think. I don't remember what the version, what it's called, but it's a Tapco, and that the pin retaining plate is a Tapco too. So as you can see, I got the disconnector with the spring, the ALG disconnector with the spring. All you do is you line up the spring with there's an indentation, a round indentation inside the trigger. Just line it up, put the spring in there, seat it right in there, and then all you have to do is just put place everything back together in the firearm, and that's it. So sometimes the spring won't stay seated in the indentation. Some people add like grease or whatever inside on the spring to keep it from falling out, but I didn't have that problem this time. So just place it in there nice and neat, and line up the holes, and then once you got the holes lined up, you can just throw the pin back in there to hold everything in place. It helps just to look through the hole so you can see when everything's lined up, and then you can just slide the pin through. So the disconnector, you're gonna have to press it down because it's on a spring, so you're gonna have to press it down to get it to line up with the hole on the disconnector through the frame. So it might take a little finagling, but you can do it. It's not that difficult. This is actually a really easy trigger job compared to my FN509. That was a little that was definitely more involved than this. No little tiny parts to worry about. So now we just reinstall the hammer, and pretty simple stuff. Probably hear my dog walking around in the background. So we got the you just twist the hammer to the side a little bit, and then you just straighten it up inside the frame, and again do the same thing. You line up the holes and secure it, and that's it. And then I'm doing that right now. Again, it takes a little bit of finessing, but we got it. And then you just release the wire that were kind of crisscrossed on the back of the hammer, or the front of the hammer. And then you just put the wires down back into the original place. Make sure they're oriented right. In the instruction manual that comes with the ALG trigger, you'll see that they tell you exactly how to put everything, orient everything. So at this point, I got the pins in. Pretty sure I put the retainer plate in. So at this point, we're gonna go ahead and reassemble the KP9. Oh, I'm putting the pin retainer plate in right now, which is really simple. Once you get the retainer plate in, then you go ahead and put the safety lever back in, which is what I'm doing right now. It appears that I'm a bit confused, but alright, so now we got the safety lever. Let's go ahead and put that in, slide that through the pin retainer plate hole that's designated there, and that holds everything nice and secure. And then you just kind of have to push the safety lever down to get it to lock into place, which sometimes can be a little A little tricky to figure out, but all you gotta do is press the safety lever down. I don't know what the heck I'm doing here, but I'm doing a lot of messing around. I should probably cut this part out, but I didn't. So fast forward if you want. All you gotta do is press it down and it'll lock into place, which I think I eventually did. Yeah, we're gonna definitely cut this out, or probably not, just fast forward. I don't feel like doing any more editing. Just watch me struggle and be an idiot. All you gotta do is press it down. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Very simple. Alright, I'm gonna do a function check to make sure everything's cool. So the trigger, I'm testing the safety out, and the safety does not work. That's a bad thing. So we gotta take everything apart again. And so basically, there's a lot of different tolerances in the AK variants as stated in the instructions. You can probably read it on the screen right here, but it comes with a roll pin that you install on the back of the trigger, so that, which I'm showing you right here. So basically there's too much clearance between the trigger there's too much clearance between the trigger and the safety. So the roll pin acts as a reducer to reduce that space. So in the instructions it says it allows you a 0.01 inch clearance between the safety and the roll pin. So I installed the roll pin, and with the roll pin you gotta like bang it you gotta hammer it into the hole. Alright, so I suggest you get like a vise or something. Hopefully you have a vise. That's probably the only way you're gonna be able to get the roll pin, hammer the roll pin into that trigger body where the hole, it has a designated spot to put the roll pin. So you're gonna have to hammer it in there. That's what I had to do. And then once you do that, you're gonna have to file it down to where it's the clearance is within the tolerance stated in the instructions, which is 0.01 inches. And what I did was I used a Dremel with the metal cutting tool, and I simply just I reduced the height of the roll pin to get the clearance good. I put it back in there and I reassembled. I greased everything up a little bit, and I put it back together, did another function check to make sure the safety's good. Right here, as you see, safety's good now. So we're all good. I actually didn't have to install a roll pin on my AK-47, but on the KP9 definitely had to do a roll pin to get that safety to function correctly. It's very important that you have the safety functioning. And that's it. So basically after this I'm probably gonna have a separate video. I'm not sure. I'll probably have a separate video at the range, where I give you a little review of this particular trigger on the KP9. But hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the views. Trying to get a little bit more active on my page. So until next time. And my dog is so annoying. He makes so much noise when I'm doing my videos. He just won't sit still. But thanks for watching. It's your boy Jonesy, and we're out of here. Alright?